Hey everyone, this is Sahil from eBhangra board. I hope everyone is staying safe during this time. It's not easy, but hopefully we can get through this together and stay connected to the best of our abilities. On behalf of Sid, Akash, Umar, and myself, we just wanted to send along a couple updates. One thing being addressing the Instagram live comments we got last week and making sure that's accessible information for everybody, and also releasing our rubric that we developed and explaining each section in depth, as well as giving you a general overview of what our vision is and the types of performances that we think are going to do well at eBhangra. So without further ado, we'll get into it. So one of the major points that was addressed and that was asked to us was, how are we supposed to do this when we can't meet anybody right now? Like, we're all in essentially a lockdown right now. So how is this supposed to happen? And we want to keep rehashing that we are attempting to organize as many details as we can right now, but we are not going to require anything from anybody until it is safe for people to meet up and for us to be able to get back to dancing with each other, hanging out with each other until life is back to normal. So we're trying to release these details so that teams have a good sense of, what to expect from the competition, and kind of more importantly, so that you guys can start thinking about the ideas that you want, the people that you want dancing, how you're going to meet up, all these little details, so that when this lockdown gets lifted and we're all able to meet up, hang out, etc., and life gets back to normal, we can start to push out the application process, and everyone is just a little more prepared for that when we get to that point. So just want to stress that, we're not going to make anyone meet up when it's not safe to do so. And we are just trying to get these details out so that you guys know more about what you would be getting yourselves into. Another point that was mentioned was just what the general requirements were going to be of the videos that are being submitted. And we are going to send out an application packet in the next couple of weeks addressing all of those specific details, but just to give you guys a general overview of what we're going to require in the videos. We're going to say no more than 6 people per video, recording it at eye level, 1080p minimum, and the most important thing for the video is that we're not allowing video enhancements, so actual video effects added or anything done to the video itself, but live production, so gimmicks, stunts, things of that nature that you want to do in front of the camera live as you're doing your video, as you're recording. All of that stuff is perfectly okay and encouraged for this competition. So if you guys want to, do a tower, do some kind of a stunt in front of the video, that's fine, but we're not going to be allowing any stopping the video, any enhancements to the video, or anything of that sort. May require dubbing the audio, but that would be the extent of it. And the last thing is, we're not going to be allowing teams to wear full head-to-toe vardi. Accessories such as fumun, gente, rumal, these things will be allowed. If you choose to go that route, you don't need to by any means, but if you wanted to, those things would be allowed. But bugs, junni, vest, chadar, etc., those are things that we're not going to allow. And the reason for that, and the reason we have these requirements, 6 people, no video effects, etc., are because we're trying to make this as accessible to every team out there as possible. We know that our current situation has caused a lot of stress to people. People don't have access to the things that they normally would, such as props, vardi, etc. So to make it standard for everyone and to make sure that every team has an equal chance in this case for doing well at this competition, we're kind of establishing these requirements to make that standard for everybody. And again, a lot of the specific details are going to be sent out in this application packet that we're going to have. We'll have an Instagram live coming up to talk about what we discussed today and for any other questions you guys may have. But these are just, again, small requirements to get you guys thinking about, who you want dancing, the ideas that you think you want to start creating, all of that stuff. So With that being said, we're going to shift gears and go into the rubric, and we'll talk about the rubric. You guys will be able to see it, and we'll go through kind of each category of the rubric and what the general idea is for the competition. So generally speaking, with the nature of this competition, being this isn't like a normal competition where things could go wrong on stage and whatever happens on stage is final, right? If you record your video and it doesn't turn out okay, someone misses a bedga or something, you have the ability to re-record it as many times as you want, right? So this is a competition that's going to favor or lend itself towards favoring the creativity, the risk of what you do in your performance, in your choreography, in your formations, gimmicks, stunts, etc. And you will see that highlighted in the way that we allocated our points for the rubric. But where this differs from the other end of the spectrum, so like an Instagram video competition, is that we are still going to be addressing the Bhangra fundamentals, the energy, the nakra, the synchronicity between your dancers. All these aspects of execution, of dancing ability, are still going to be important values in this rubric. And the hopes of that is that we can create a nice balance between the two ends of the spectrum, right? A full-on competition and an Instagram type of video competition. So that's sort of the general idea. It's going to be something that favors creativity, but also something where you're going to have to make sure, you're dancing well, you're dancing strong, you have energy, you have nakra, etc. So if we look at the rubric, the first category is creativity of ideas. This will be your gimmicks, your choreography, your formations, your stunts. The creativity aspect of this is going to be kind of the risk, the complexity, the difficulty of these ideas that you bring forward. So are you doing complex choreo? Is it innovative? Is it original? Are you taking risk with what you're doing? That is going to be the category that addresses those aspects, and this is going to be 10 points out of the 50 for the rubric. Cohesion is the next category. It's going to be 5 points, and this is going to be more of your sort of big picture. So are the formations complementing the choreo? Is the choreo complementing the formations? Is there flow in the steps that you're doing, in the order of your formations? If you do gimmicks and stunts, are they placed well and appropriately in the grand scheme of your performance? And do your ideas, are they well thought out? Do they make sense? Can we understand why you're doing what you're doing? So this is the cohesion aspect. This is 5 points, and again, this is sort of the bigger picture of your performance. The next 2 or I guess 3 categories are going to be where we're talking about how teams still need to be able to, have strong dancing ability to do well at this competition. First category being nakra and energy. These are, if you were to classify it, was kind of like the entertaining aspects of performance, entertaining aspects of dancing. So are you dancing with full energy? Are your legs getting up? Are you getting low when you need to? Are you adding, good energy, right? Not going overboard. Are you adding good energy into your steps? And are you selling your ideas to us, through your nakra, through your energy, through your passion? So this is the category that's addressing those sort of quote unquote entertaining aspects of your dancing. The next category is form. So this is going to be more of your fundamental dancing ability, right? Are you adding moded to your steps? Is your posture strong? Are your arms strong? Is your base, are your legs getting up the way they need to, right, to dance properly? That's what this category is about. Strong form, good Bhangra fundamentals. And this will be 5 points out of the 50. And the last category, with regard to sort of execution, is synchronicity. So this is, relatively self-explanatory. Are you in sync with how many of our dancers you have, right? We're saying no more than 6 per video. So are you executing your routine without mistakes? Are you guys all synced up? Spins are the same, legs are getting up the same, the style is coordinated between everybody. That's what this category is going to be addressing. And the last category is as you can see, it's 15 points. It's the most important category, and this is the impact of your performance. And again, the reason we are allocating 15 points towards this is because this isn't like a normal competition. You have the ability to re-record videos if you please. You have time starting even now if you want to start thinking about ideas that you want to incorporate in your video. And this category, if you could sum it up in a couple sort of questions to ask yourself, was I memorable? Was I memorable? Did I stand out relative to other teams? And did I make judges go wow? Which is essentially what we're asking with this category. Now, this can be achieved in many ways, right? This doesn't have to be necessarily a set-driven category where you are wowing the judges with, the ideas that you're putting forward. This can also be accomplished with, your dancing ability, but keeping that in mind, the questions that you want to ask yourself are, am I going to stand out? Right? Am I going to be remembered with this performance that I put on? And this is a 15-point category because, again, the nature of this competition is we want teams to be putting forth the best stuff that they have, right? The best dancing they have, the most creative ideas, like good, solid risk, difficulty, complexity, thinking broadly about it. We want everything to be laid out with intent. And this impact section is going to be 15 points because we want every performance to make us go, wow, that's our goal. And so this is going to be the most heavily weighted category for that reason. So this is the, order of the rubric and stuff. We're going to have an Instagram live, hopefully soon, within the next few days, to address any questions that you guys may have with the rubrics, or with the rubric that we have. And but we wanted to give you guys time to look at it, let it sit, let it digest, and you guys can think about any questions you may have with regard to the rubric. So yeah, hope you guys are staying safe, staying healthy, and we will post about when this Instagram live happens. All right, thanks, y'all.